right, if everyone would, please turn your mic on. All right. All right. Welcome to our April 15th meeting. Appreciate everyone being here. As always, I would ask that each one would put your cell phone on silent or vibrate. Would very much be appreciated. And as always, we'll start off with a word of prayer. Timothy Jenkins, if you would, lead us in prayer, followed by Will with the pledge. So if everyone please stand. Timothy.
Dear Lord, we just come to you this morning thanking you for the community, the county that we live in, and just ask you to continue to bless us. I also ask you to be with this country and with Israel and with the turmoil that's going on. I just ask you to protect us and to be able to protect the allies that we have. Thank you for the ability, the freedom to have free elections, and just ask you to be with us through this year as we have one. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Will?
Attention, salute, pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Lott?
Yes, Mr. President, should have
You're up
before
first.
you the March 25th as well as the April 1st board minutes. I would ask if there are no changes, the board please approve said minutes.
Are there any changes? If not, do I have a motion for approval?
Move.
Make a motion by Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Concerned citizens, Jan Collins, you're up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Again. Thank you so much for taking time to take the photo today. I really appreciate that. I have with me Vicki Tate, who is with the Madison County Chamber of Commerce. I'm glad to have her today here assisting me in this presentation. Thank you for this opportunity to make this request today. I believe that Greg has included a resolution in your packets for today for you to review. Madison County is blessed with a low crime rate and very effective law enforcement, which is an important tool in attracting and recruiting industry and business in Madison County, as we all know. The Madison County Business League and Foundation and other economic development support organizations in each of our communities would like to recognize and celebrate law enforcement for their outstanding efforts, which contribute to the overall quality of life throughout the county in helping our families and businesses feel safe and secure. We respectfully request the Board of Supervisors approve a resolution proclaiming May 13th through 17th, 2024 as Madison County Law Enforcement Appreciation Week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jan, as always, you and Vicki, thank y'all for putting this on every year, showing appreciation, for our law enforcement. It's huge in Madison County.
It is.
And as you indicated, that our crime is very low because of them. So we definitely appreciate it. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? Second, Supervisor Brandon. Discussion?
Could I make one statement?
Yes,
Mr.
sure.
President?
Please
Ms. Jan,
do.
I want to thank you and your staff, y'all, annually, y'all, and not just on any certain date, but all throughout the year, y'all support us with different events and recognition, and it means a lot to the guys and girls that work in law enforcement and first responders, and y'all never fail to come through for us. Thank you for recognizing, thanking this board for their support of law enforcement throughout the county, and not just county, but all the municipalities within our county.
Yes.
And the appreciation doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have a lot of events planned for that week in each of our communities. And the Business League will be sponsoring a lunch, as always, at the jail on Wednesday, the 15th. And then we also have Mississippi Attorney General Lynn Fitch our top law enforcement officer for the state, will be speaking at a breakfast on Friday morning. So everyone will be receiving invitations to those. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Sheriff.
you, Jan, Vicki. We have a motion on the floor, been second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Next on the list is Dr. Spann, Sheila Spann. If you would, please come up and state your name and address in a couple of minutes, please.
My name is Dr. Sheila Spann. I just say good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for having us here this morning. I am a pharmacist and I'm a diabetes educator. I've been working in Canton for over 20 years. Worked at the hospital. I have my own clinic, Diabetes Solution Wellness Center. And I just want to talk a few minutes about why we're here. And I got our team captain, Reverend Timothy Lewis, to talk about our team. I am a member of Team Mississippi. I am a kidney transplant. I received my kidney 13 years ago, starting in August.
All right.
And I just thank the Lord for my kidney. I thank the Lord for the donors. So we're getting ready to compete in Alabama in June, and also we're going to be competing in Germany next year. Now, last year I was able to go to Australia and got 2 gold medals, okay? One in golfing, okay, and one in running the 5K. And so I just thank the Lord just for allowing me to do that. But at this time, I want to introduce some of the other recipients that receive transplants. Angie's from Canton, Mississippi.
I'm Angel Meeks. I'm a native of Canton, Mississippi. I'm a 4-year heart transplant recipient, and I'll be competing competing in different sports in Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is John Wilkerson. I'm a Kennedy recipient for 2019. I did my first 5K, and that might be my last one.
Mr. President, board members, county constituents, my name is Timothy Lewis, and I'm a 10-year out heart transplant recipient. My donor was an 18-year-old Caucasian young man out of Austin, Texas, and his mother, he was the youngest child out of 5 boys, and his mother saw fit to give me the gift of life after he had passed away, and that extended my life to be able to live a full life with my family. Now I have 5 grandchildren. I didn't have but 2 at starting out, and my wife and I have been enjoying this trip, this journey that we've been on as transplant recipients. Look, we're standing before this board today to ask of you all, of your kindness and your compassion, to support Team Mississippi. Team Mississippi mission is to educate the public on benefit of transplantation and the need for organ donation and a registration for organ donations, to encourage transplant recipients like ourselves to achieve healthier lifestyles by staying active and competing in the Donate Life Transplant Games of America. And by doing so, we solicit advertisement sponsorship to be able to do this. When we go to these games, we're representing not only ourselves, but we're representing the state of Mississippi. We're representing Madison County, Hinds County, all of the 82 counties in the state. When we go to the games, we're educating those citizens in those areas, in that city, and in that state about organ donation. We have about 7,000 organ transplant recipients across the United States will be at those games. And not only that, we also have around about 4,000 to 5,000 supporters coming. We have about 2 or 3 international teams. Brazil and Australia will be there as well. And we're all just celebrating life. I am a 21-time gold medalist for the transplant games, and we want to make sure that we represent this state well. We want to make sure that we represent this county well. So we're asking this county today that you would see within yourself to follow along with Hinds County that gave us an advertisement sponsorship of $2,500. We also have petitioned our other sponsors who have given, like the transplant a pharmacy, F&M Pharmacy. We have Community Bank have done so as well. And we want to make sure that we represent you all to the fullest extent of our ability as being transplant recipients. I don't know if you all ever met any transplant recipients before, but I'm quite sure that somebody in here have a loved one who is waiting on an organ transplant and who have received a transplant. And it is an ordeal that I don't wish upon anyone, but we know that after transplantation, it gives us a full life to be able to live the quality of life that we deserve and that we desire. And I'll pause for any kind of questions.
Okay. Thank you for coming here. Any comments from the board?
Well, he talks about transplant. We have a transplant recipient on our road department. Also, Lawrence Morris received a kidney about 5-6 years ago.
I would like to have his telephone number and contact him.
I get it, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments, statements?
Is there anywhere to donate online?
I think
Watching today or anybody?
I think so, but we have a form here that we brought along with us. Dr. Stan, can you give it to the president?
I think last year when y'all came, I think the way that we left it was that if anyone wanted to personally donate, would get in contact with you or the Dr. Span there, either one, to personally donate, for this activity.
Yes, sir, you all
Well
did.
worth it.
Yeah, you all did. Individual donation would be fine, but we also want this. We want Madison County to, lead the way, just like some of the other counties have done as well, as a group effort to help us in this cause here. We have about 21 people die per day waiting on an organ transplant.
Right.
We have 117,000 people nationwide that is waiting to have a transplant. They're on that national list. And one person can save 8 lives, through organ donation, transplantation. And, and we just want to make sure that we have the representation from this board and this body that would say that, we're on board to help educate, the citizens and the public about organ donation.
Okay.
This advertisement, Greg and Mike, can we do this advertisement?
Good morning, everybody. The law doesn't allow county bodies to make a donation. A donation. So I think the word is the thing that's going to throw us. But it does allow you to advertise for county services. So if you were to take out an ad promoting this event, but in the ad you talk about county services, informing the body of county services, that's permissible.
Okay. And then that's what they're asking for is an ad. I'm going to make a motion that we go ahead and do the gold sponsorship ad and ask that Greg get together with them and get an ad to them. That's $2,500. And I'll make that in the form of a motion.
I got a second for discussion.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, and then we have a second.
I'm curious to see what's the ad gonna say?
Greg will make sure.
Well, the code section requires that the purpose of advertising is bringing into favorable notice the opportunities, possibilities, and resources of the county. So, the ad will say something to that effect. It will have some, I don't know exactly what it's going to say, but it will be, the gist of it's going to be bringing into favorable notice the opportunities of Madison County.
And is this gonna open Pandora's box with people coming up here wanting?
I cannot answer that, sir. That will be a board decision, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason last year that we left it as individual sponsors because of the reason that you just mentioned, Supervisor Baxter. But we do have a motion on the table. Other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Got it, and here's the form that,
I'm agreed.
to be able to fill out. Okay, $2,500,
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
I
board.
just want to say, you guys, I know several people, even some family folks that they had a kidney transplant. But as I can think right now, I don't know no one besides you all that had a heart transplant and still standing among the living. That is something amazing.
Thank you.
It is something amazing.
Thank you.
God gives us, the donor is most important. Because if we didn't have the donors,
Yeah,
that's right.
we would not be here.
you're exactly right.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna do what I can, because I got that second chance to help and educate others. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank y'all
for your work.
Thank y'all.
for your
Thank
work.
y'all
Thank you
for
all so
coming.
much. Appreciate it.
All right, next on the list, Timothy Jenkins.
Morning, Board.
Good morning.
Timothy Jenkins, 123 Countryside Cove, Madison. I'm coming to y'all today to try to get a letter from the board to take to the Department of Environmental Quality to receive an emergency debris permit. In order to get that permit, the governing entity has to approve for a letter to be written to take to DEQ. We are purchasing 19 acres off of Hawkins Thompson Road off of Ragsdale. As probably many of y'all know, there's a huge pile of logs that's about 200 yards down the road from where we're purchasing land. I've talked to a few people there that are interested in buying that land, and in the event that I get this permit, that'll be one of the first things that goes. We're in the process. We've put earnest money down on about a $500,000 piece of equipment. It's called a whole tree grinder. My plans are, before any debris or trees that are brought on that property, we have a piece of equipment that will grind everything that comes on there. Trees and limbs will be the only thing brought on it. No asphalt shingles, no concrete, no other debris other than trees. Our plans right now to, as we grind, is to bag mulch and to also make erosion socks. As y'all know, especially with the mega site, that anytime you start a construction site, you've either got to put erosion socks up or a silt fence up. One of the advantages of grinding trees is I'm going to have hundreds of thousands of yards of chipped wood. That's right now one of the best things to put in an erosion sock because it's biodegradable. When you finish with that site, all you have to do is cut the sock, dump it out, and you got mulch. This is going to help with the, right now Madison's saying they've got 10,000 dead pine trees just on their public property. As y'all all know, there's probably somewhere around 2 million in Madison County. The landfill at Canton can't hold it all. Little Dixie landfill and the rubbish field out on West County line can't hold it all. Our plan is to repurpose it. I don't want to bury it. It's not going to be burned, so Nissan will be happy with that.
I will too.
So what we're doing is we want to bring those trees in. We're going to grind them, repurpose them, and ship them right back out. And the DEQ has an avenue for us to be able to do that. And actually, from what I understand from talking to some of the people with DEQ, is if y'all will vote to support this, DEQ will issue a permit The property is large enough that you can't pile anything over 12 feet high. You have to stay 250 feet away from a property line and 500 feet from a dwelling. With this property, all of that's met. I just need the help from the Board of Supervisors to get this ball rolling. Total right now, we figure there's somewhere around $1 million in capital that will start out just to get this thing rolling.
Motion.
If y'all have any questions.
Well, I got one question. You mentioned 19 acres off Thompson Hawkins Lane. It's a narrow lane, and housing along that lane. The operation that got there, I don't know how it got there. That's got those trees and stuff, and
yes, sir.
That coming an eyesore, and also their trucks have been destroying the road. I'm not for anything like that going on Thompson Hawkins Lane. Now, it sounds like to me your operation sounds like something that might be needed and good, but I'm not for it going on that 19 acres.
All right. Usually, I got a motion on the table. Do I have a second for further discussion?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Brandon for further discussion. What are you actually asking the board? You said for a letter.
Okay,
What's that letter
in order
would say
for this permit, in order to get the permit, whether it's like Gluckstadt, we talked to Gluckstadt, but it doesn't fall under Gluckstadt city limits or Canton city limits. So the next entity would be the county, and it requires a letter from the Board of Supervisors approving this action. And what was surprising to me is this letter from DEQ is only about 3 1/4 pages long. But what it's showing is that Madison County is in favor of this happening.
okay, and Scott, would you come up?
I need to go through its own.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk on this land that he's talking about doing this work on? Tell us about the zone. Is it properly zoned or is it not? Or?
The property's zoned agricultural. Now, naturally, if the board so chooses, they can do this emergency order, but it does require conditional use through the county. We could go through that process in the meantime or do it beforehand. That's up to the board, but it will need a conditional use. It's kind of like a mining operation. It's a conditional use for any of these districts.
Is this something that needs to go in front of the planning and zoning first?
It can be either or. You can authorize the emergency order, or it can go to the P&Z first. That's up to the board.
How do we usually do this?
Sir?
How do we usually make a decision before it goes in front of planning and zoning, or how have we done this in the past?
In an emergency order, I think the last time I remember something like this was probably Nissan, where we mined dirt and let people go through the mining operation in the meantime until it went through P&Z and the board.
Okay.
So it's similar to that situation.
Now, Tim, question for you. You said that there is a property adjacent to the property you're buying that already has a bunch of dead trees on it?
Yeah, well, and from what I understand, and you can see it from I-55, the good thing is this property has got a tree buffer. You can't see it from the highway, but from what I understand, where they were dumping all those trees was an illegal dump site.
Well, but what I'm getting at is the trees that are there are having big trucks driven on it to dump those trees.
From what I understand, about 2 years.
Okay.
Right.
And if your operation doesn't start, where would those trees go?
Well, if y'all approve this, the person I've talked to last week that's trying to actually buy the property, because from what I understand, that property is under foreclosure. Part of the deal that he's trying to work is if he buys the property, that it'll be at a reduced rate to where he can pay me to grind all of the stuff that's on that property.
What I'm getting at is, right now, the road is currently being used by big trucks.
Correct.
And that will not stop, most likely, if you do or do not start this
No,
business.
because, well, you know, they've stopped the dumping on it, but there's a sawmill that's on that property, and they continue to bring logs down that road to be sawn. And I did leave that out. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, other than grinding it, is I've got a sawmill already. And any of the logs that are brought in that are salvageable, because the commercial sawmills right now are not taking the dead pine trees or anything that's got pine beetles in it. I'll have the ability that any log that's salvageable, I'll be able to cut it into lumber, and for people that's got pole barns or whatever they want to use it for, trailers, whatever, and then any of that leftover will be ground.
So you're not going to be generating extra traffic on this road? There's already that kind of traffic?
There's already that kind of traffic on there.
Okay.
You'd be generating additional traffic.
Well, it's kind of like additional traffic on Yandell Road. I mean, you know, we're offering to provide a service that's going to help the county, the municipalities out around here, and it's going to give them somewhere else to carry trees, and instead of being buried or burned, to have a use for them.
I'm going to go back to the emergency type deal, and what I understand from Scott, this is not an emergency type decision at this point.
Well, the governor has kind of issued that it's an emergency to get rid of about, the last I heard was the Mississippi Forestry Commission is saying there's around 2 million dead trees in Madison County. I would just about consider that an emergency when you can't cut them and sell them for lumber.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the trees. I'm just talking about this piece of property.
Oh, no, the piece of property, I've bought it to be able to have somewhere to carry it to.
That's right. That's what I'm really talking about, the emergency part.
Right.
That is not necessarily an emergency part on this piece of property to move forward with this. So, I'm going to make a substitute motion to go in front of the Planning and Zoning Board. Because if it's zoned that way and in these are conditional use, the proper avenue is to go in front of the Planning and Zoning Board to let them hear the case or hear, the project, and then come and make that recommendation to the Board of Supervisors.
And I second that motion.
So I think that's the proper way.
Well, and I started with Scott, and
Right.
he said that would be in y'all's court. So if I had known 3 weeks ago, then I
That's
could have
right.
already done that.
You're
Talk to the
exactly right.
supervisor of that district.
I called him and he never returned a phone call.
Well, and you're right. I know you started with Scott, and that was the right thing, right place to start. But in this case, from what I understand, it would come under a conditional use, if I'm correct, Scott. Then it really needs to go back in front of the Planning and Zoning the proper way, and then bring it to the board, where we won't leave the Planning and Zoning out. Because if it's zoned that way, I really don't have an issue with it, personally. But I just think we need to go through the proper process.
All right.
I think a couple of things have to happen too. I mean, to get a piece of property zoned, you have to own it. I keep hearing that it's going to be purchased, so it's not owned yet.
Well,
you can't go to zoning and rezone.
Well, we were
something that
supposed
you
to have
don't
closed on it this past Monday, but they're still waiting on a signature to come back from one of the heirs.
Yeah, you can always have that as a conditional
Right.
use deal as far as whether you own it or not. But anyway, I think the proper stance is to go back in front, to go to the Planning and Zoning, and that's the proper process. I did not realize or did not know that it would come under a conditional use, but it does from what I understand, so. Any other discussions?
Yeah, I got a little bit. This probably more directed to Carl. How do we, the illegal dumping, how do we stop that and get that cleaned up at the owner's expense? Scott? I mean, it looks awful over there.
And you're talking about the one by the
that you can
interstate?
see from the interstate.
I know the DEQ has been involved in that. We can proceed forward. I think I heard Mr. Jenkins say that property's under foreclosure. I think there's some other legal issues that have happened with that property. Not sure who the owner is, but we could definitely see what we could do.
Okay. We have a substitute motion on the board to send it to the planning and zoning. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, 4-1. Send it back, send it to the planning and zoning.
All right.
Okay. Any other concern, citizens?
Well, we do.
4 on the list here, sir.
All right, hold on one second. Paul, you want to take the
Let's do
basketball team?
Yeah, the championship Tigers now. Coach, if you will, just bring your guys on up front here.
Paul, you going to take the lead on this to?
Yeah, me and Mike.
Come on up here, guys.
Y'all guys come on up and.
We gonna ask that you turn your back to us and look right in that camera up there.
Come on, let's stand up,
so
guys.
all those folks at home can see you.
Are we going to take a picture out front? Or?
Yeah.
We gonna let Mike read the resolution.
If we take a picture, I gotta be out front.
Hold on one second.
All
Mike's
them.
gonna read the resolution.
Yeah, Mike read the resolution first.
Okay, Mike, do your thing.
I think y'all can sit down.
We can sit down. I agree with you. Guys?
Hey,
I can't see you.
I can't see them.
Okay, Mike, it's all you.
All right, well, in honor of the achievement of this great basketball team, we have a resolution that I will read, and I'm hopeful that Mr. Griffin will make the motion. And after the second that it'll be approved, it'll be entered into the permanent minutes of this board. And it would also be written and presented to you and framed a little bit later. So here's the resolution. Resolution commending Canton High Boys Basketball Team 2024 Mississippi High School Athletic Association Division 5A State Champions. That was just the title.
Yeah.
Whereas on March 1st, 2024, by the score of 58-40, the Canton High Tigers boys basketball team defeated the Yazoo City boys team to win the coveted MHSAA Class 5A championship. And whereas in only his second year of coaching, head coach B.J. Townsend led his team to the state championship, notably improving upon the team's 2023 performance, where that team advanced to the MHSAA semifinals. And whereas this significant win, coupled with the team's overall season record of 27-4, establishes the Canton High School boys basketball team as the acclaimed powerhouse among all Mississippi high school boys basketball programs, serving to bring enthusiasm and pride to the players, team coaches, school administrators, parents, and to everyone associated with Canton High School. And whereas the Madison County Board of Supervisors revels in highlighting the best that the county has to offer in every field of endeavor, in effort to lift and to demonstrate the prodigious talent, capacity, and competence of its student athletes and all students residing within our superior schools within Madison County. And whereas the Madison County Board of Supervisors believes in offering support, appreciation, and encouragement to all students within its county schools to promote and to foster a climate where excellence is cultivated and where success in all worthy endeavors is assumed. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison County Board of Supervisors congratulates, compliments, and commends the Canton High School boys basketball team and its head coach, B.J. Townsend, for winning the 2024 MHSAA Class 5A Championship, and in private recognition, further commends the team for establishing itself as a formidable basketball powerhouse within the state of Mississippi, serving to bring pride to the student body, to the administration, to the parents of Canton High School, and the Madison County at large. Be it further resolved, on motion by District 5 Supervisor Paul Griffin, and approved by the Madison County Board of Supervisors, a duly signed and framed copy of this resolution shall be presented to Coach B.J. Townsend for proud display at Canton High School. Resolved this 15th day of April, 2024.
I got a little something else here for the team. Award of Excellence. Canton High School Tigers boys basketball team. 20, 23, 24 MHSAA Class 5A State Championship winners. Presented by Madison County Board of Supervisors. Award sponsored by him truly, Supervisor Paul Griffin. And I just want to say, congratulations, Coach. Congratulations, team. And get that shot right here.
Yeah.
I share it with you.
Thanks, Paul. Are you going to share with the rest of the board?
Yes. When we get out, we will turn around.
I'm just wondering.
I don't have to worry about blocking it. All right. So now we want everybody to turn around. We're going to get a shot with the board. Congratulations.
How are we going to do this? We were going to come around.
All going to raise that.
We were going to actually, y'all turn back around. We're going to come back in front of y'all.
We going to come around there? They coming back around there for us.
Yeah. Bring the board around.
Everybody smile. Okay, thank you
Look at that camera.
Everybody keep smiling. Okay, thank you.
Coach, BJ, you got any words you want to say about your team? Come right up here to this mic. We gonna get that right out. Right out.
Don't tell anybody. Coach Townsend?
Y'all can turn around to us.
Y'all can turn around.
Where's Coach Townsend?
He is right over there.
Here's the mic.
Coach, you want to say a couple of things?
Yeah, just a quick word.
I would just kind of move out this a little bit where we can see.
Yeah, we can see your coach.
There you go. Man, that's a big basketball. All right, Coach, you got the floor, buddy.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for recognizing us on today. And it was an honor to be able to represent the city of Canton and also Madison County. And man, I'm just so proud of my guys. They fought hard all year. We went through some adversity the beginning of the year, towards the middle, but they fought through everything. My leaders stepped up. My practice guys stepped up. And, man, it just was a team effort to do what we did on this year, and it was very special. So I'm proud of my guys, and I want to thank my coaches, man. I couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah.
So it was a great year for us.
What was your record?
27-4.
27-4. Well, congratulations. And
All seniors come on in by the church. Let's see our seniors.
Where the seniors?
Oh, we ain't got before?
Yeah, we got 4 seniors, and
So I sound like repeat then, huh? Sound like repeat.
we expect to see y'all here next year now.
most definitely, most definitely.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations.
Are the seniors ready to reveal where they going next year to play?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead. Where we going?
I'll be going to East Mississippi Community College.
All right.
That's a good deal.
Anybody else want to reveal?
Congratulations, y'all.
Congratulations.
Coach, congratulations. Thank y'all for coming.
Thanks, Coach.
Outside out there, there's a symbol up there with Madison County on it. If y'all want to take individual pictures there to kill some time, because we're going to go to lunch by 11:15 over there at KD. Yeah. I'm going with you.
Hey, we all may be there. What do you mean? All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, then.
Appreciate you. All right, I want to back up and get the concerned citizens. I tell you what, before we go any further with concerns, I'm gonna go down to.
Got a vote.
We got a motion on the floor. We've got a first and second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? I think Paul voted aye as well.
Yeah, Paul voted aye. He made the motion.
He made the motion. Okay, before we get the rest of concerned citizens, I'm gonna drop down and get the next one on the list. It's Don McGraw. Don, if you would come up and tell us what you're looking for.
Okay. That's the one with a clock right. He got his clock right. Yeah.
All right, I'm Don McGraw, and I'm here representing E&M Entertainment, doing business as a Rabbit Hole.
All right.
We are asking for a qualified resort status. That the Rabbit Hole is a new restaurant being constructed in Lost Rabbit, and we're seeking to be able to serve wine and liquor. We've filed our petition and given the legal description. It's at 145 Republic Street, Madison, in the Lost Rabbit community. Of course, the area is a recreational type area. It joins the reservoir, and then it's next to the Natchez Trace, so it have a lot of visitors, recreational visitors, and other people using the area. We have tourists and residents of the area also will be coming to the restaurant. We've complied with the state rules on what we've attached to our petition, which we have at least 3 letters from civic clubs. We've attached photographs of the area. We had about 170 neighbors in the area sign the application in support of our petition. So we feel like we've met the requirements of the statute in order to have the board approve the qualified resort area.
Don, what's the process that you got? I know the county, in this particular instance, for whatever reason, takes a back seat to either DOR or the legislature. I'm gonna vote to approve it. I'm in favor of it. I'm just curious what the process is.
So what'll happen? We'll have to go through the Department of Revenue, and also the legislature is going to approve our site as well. So they ask that we come through y'all first.
Okay, our question is, what do you want from us?
I want y'all to
pass this resolution.
Vote to pass a resolution approving our petition.
I got a motion on the table to pass a resolution. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second, Supervisor Brandon. Discussion? And, Don, this is just the first step that you have to go through.
That's correct.
Because there's a couple others as well. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you, Don.
Thank y'all.
Want to back up to concerned citizens now. Greg?
All right, first name on the list is Joyce Taylor.
All right, Ms. Joyce Taylor.
Yeah, you probably got a couple of names on that together.
How y'all doing?
Ms. Taylor, if you would, come up and state your name, address, and a couple of minutes, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joyce Taylor.
Put that mic down.
Oh, I forgot I'm short.
Yeah, you sure?
I'm Joyce Taylor, 802 St. Charles Street, Florida, Mississippi, out in Kearney Park district. Y'all should be familiar with me. I'm coming back to y'all because you guys did fix the flooding that was coming into my house. But unfortunately, when you fixed it, when the rain came back this time, it came back through the back part, very heavy. So we have another issue again. You know, you fixed the front part, but it was coming through the back too, but now it's extremely coming through the back.
Yeah.
Carl, do you,
Yeah, I'm very familiar. Been talking to Joyce and Miss Bennett back there. Miss Bennett, give your name and address.
My name is Dorothy Bennett at 3019 Center Street in Florida. And I've been having a problem too. Every time it heavily rains, the rain come and flood my house out. I have a disabled husband there, and I had to use his pads and stuff, getting up water, all my blankets and spreads and everything, getting up water. And at my house, every time it rained heavy, the water come in and just flood me out.
Yeah, we believe that the lake, the old lake there, is causing some backup because it's really it needs to be cleared, and the dam needs to go away to stop the water from backing back up into these houses, because that. And what we've been trying to do, I've been talking to Tim, I've been talking to Mike, we've been trying to come up with a document. The owner of the lake is ready to sign, and we've been trying to get this work done to clean and clear some of this, the debris that's causing the backup since last summer. I've called Tim, Tim said, well, he's waiting on Mike. I called Mike. Mike said, well, I got a document I'm sending to Tim. We can't get the work done until we are able to get on that lake and clear it.
What about the lake owner?
The lake owner's ready to sign whatever.
Yeah, but isn't he responsible if he is causing the problem, or she?
Well,
The document is prepared.
Yeah, but hold on one second, and you're right, this has come up in front of us before, but who is the lake owner?
That's Carolyn Roberts, but, you know, her dad bought the property around the lake, and I guess it encompassed the lake. She is not able to do anything to that lake herself. She wants to turn the lake over to the county, and we don't want it to be a lake anymore because it's not doing what it originally was reported as doing. So the dam has been broken, and we've had issues there. We want to be able to maintain that property so that we can stop the flooding.
Let me ask you this: the lake and the property around it, if the county was to take control of it, will they be able to clean that lake out and have some type of recreation type around that lake? Or do we own in that property?
Yeah, how big is the lake?
That's not the plan.
Is it an acre, 2 acres, 20 acres?
I'm not sure, probably closer to 5. But no, The plan is to clear it, clean it, get rid of the dam, so when the water does start flowing, it'll continue to flow on out into that low area where it used to be the lake, and flow on away and flow on where it's trying to go to the Big Black River. Yeah, and stop backing up into these people's houses.
Okay.
And my concern is, why is Tim dragging his feet so? Because my house is flooded out about 3 times this year and stuff. And and I know even though we're getting the water up, like the ladies told me, it's in the wall and it's gonna create mold and make somebody sick or something.
Do y'all know the landowner? Do you know the landowner?
I live next door beside her.
I'm like right there.
Oh, you're the landowner?
The lake owner.
Beside her.
Yeah, Carol.
Okay. The reason I say is because if the landowner is responsible right now, the landowner is. It's not the county. It's the landowner that's responsible. From what I'm hearing you say today now, is the landowner owns that pond, and or the lake, and if the lake is causing the flood, it belongs to that landowner.
Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah.
Before you speak on that, when I came
Okay.
up here before, and before they found out exactly what, when the yard and stuff was flooding, and before they came and opened up all those damaged pipes and broke the yard, the board agreed to pay to repair my house, and to Miss whatever her name before she left didn't understand clearly what the board was saying.
Right.
So they did realize that there was a lot of damaged pipes and a whole lot of stuff that caused my house to flood.
But I think that's a different.
No, I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about
you're
that.
talking about the front of your house.
No, but I'm still talking about this a lot of the damage that caused my house to flood.
Right. Tim?
And they have it in notes, plus I have the notes.
All right, where's Tim?
Tim,
Tim, come up because
Tim,
you're
come up.
right. You were up here last year.
Right, of course.
You're right.
George, let us talk to
It's
Tim.
not gone.
Y'all move and let Tim talk this second.
Yeah, let us talk to Tim.
Come on, Tim, sit beside me. I like you.
Y'all move around just a little bit. Let Tim
Let
talk.
Tim
Yeah,
talk.
you can go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
From what I'm understanding, I am waiting on a easement document to get permission to get on Miss Taylor's lot and then a Mark Jordan's property. And once I get those 2 easement documents, I get them signed, and that's all we need in order to proceed.
And once you get those documents signed, what's the next step?
The road department or Lawrence's crew, somebody from the county is able to get on the property and clear the dam out, clear all that area out so the water will flow into the lake area.
Okay.
Right now, it's backing up.
I just don't want to open up a can of worms with others coming up and with other issues on other people's property, and they saying, well, I want the county to come and take care of it. Hold on 1 second. I'm talking with Tim. Hold on. That's the only issue or concern that I have is opening up a.
Well, I'm not sure that's the only issue. That's the first issue. We've got to get that done, and then we've got to work backwards. But that's the downstream issue, and then we've got to work backwards upstream. But we've got to get that done first before we can do anything else.
But is the county in any way causing this issue?
Not that issue, not the issue with the lake.
What issue do you see that the lake is causing the county?
Causing the county?
Yeah, the road.
The lake is causing, once the lake fills up,
right,
then the pipe, everything starts backing upstream.
Right.
Which crosses
And it
the
can't-
road.
Yeah, and it starts moving upstream. Once the lake fills up, the water that's upstream can't move into the lake, and it starts all just backing up.
And what damage is that doing to the road?
To the road itself?
Yes.
I mean, long-term damage, I mean, it will cause.
All right, so
but
we're doing this to take care of the road.
Yeah.
Long-term.
Yeah, long-term is to take care of the road.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, it will take care of some other issues as well. But we're actually doing this to take care of the road, then, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
Long-term.
Okay, that's where I'm trying to understand, to make sure that we're just not going on a piece of property and taking care of somebody's flooding when it's really not the county's. But we're doing this to take care of the road itself.
Right.
In
And
the long run.
the pipes that we will end up upsizing in the future are on county right away.
Yes, I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood. Okay, good deal. Mike, you need to say something?
Also, where the water come in and it did a lot of damage to the road in front of my house.
Right.
It done washed some of the concrete and stuff, got
Some of the
beds and
asphalt.
stuff in it where that water coming down, and it done messed all my cabinets up in my kitchen from where I've been having the floods and stuff at.
Right. Mike, do you want to say something?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me. Excuse me. And the maintenance easement has been prepared. It's pretty detailed. It talks about the boundaries of the easement. It allows us the authority on an annual basis to come into that area to mow grasses that prevent the water from moving, to dig what needs to be dug out, and it's been prepared. And I submitted the document,
Okay.
so I assume it's still under review.
But again, I want to make it clear.
And it's for no lease fee, for no easement consideration. It's a free lease, as long as we come in and have authority to come do what needs to be done to keep the public safety from being at risk and to keep the roads from being degraded.
Yeah, okay, that's what we needed to hear right there, that last statement.
It's there and it's been presented.
Okay. All right, thank you. I guess we're waiting on Tim to come back with us with the,
Okay.
easement.
Okay then. Look, we've got the easement finally. We're gonna be getting it. Who did you submit it to, Mike? So we can get it back.
I'll just say that it's been submitted. I believe I sent it to Supervisor District 2 and the engineer. So, four, excuse me.
The engineer.
You
Yes.
believe you sent it to the supervisor in District 4?
Probably have to resend it because I hadn't seen it.
Okay, thank you.
And
right, I think-
and the engineer said he hadn't seen it, so,
Them emails went on the text.
Well, am I able to submit my damages that it done to my house?
Ma'am, I'm not sure about that part. You need to talk with your supervisor, District 4. Mike, if you
I don't-
will, you and Carl and Tim get together maybe
Yeah.
at the next,
Okay.
next board meeting.
Okay.
we will make sure. Yeah,
Okay.
We'll make sure it happens.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you all.
All right, y'all.
Oh, Mr. Ernestine, what I finna say, you're not gonna see any more members up here from Florida because we're taking care of them, those 4 houses in Florida that keep getting the same water damages. We represent them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next on the concern, citizen.
I've got Bernice Caldwell.
Miss Bernice Carwell?
Yeah, there she goes.
Okay.
District 4.
Yeah.
District 4 got the agenda for
Yeah.
it.
Where's Scott?
How you all doing?
Morning.
Okay.
My name is Bernice Caldwell. I live on 150 Cloverleaf Drive. And I was here last month because the man that buying the property wanted to rezone so he can get a liquor house and a community store, whatever. But all that liquor house and store is in my front door. It's crossed. But when I step out of my door, I'm looking at a liquor house and a convenience store. We got enough of the convenience and liquor stores in that area. We don't need any more. What I'm saying is, I've been there for 34 years, and we never had to call the police out there to do anything. There's no robberies or what in that area. And this, if you want peace and quiet, you come out there on Cloverleaf Drive. You got nothing to bother you. But with that store and that liquor house there, I'm looking at a potential problem. Because Nissan, we live right off of Nissan Drive. Then we got the 55 on the other side and Old Jackson Road. So if that liquor house is put there with all those apartments over there and the rest of the community behind, there's too much traffic for the children and the grandchildren to be out there in. And what I thought I was supposed to be back today, but I didn't know for sure, so I called and they said the board meeting was today. But they haven't sent a letter saying, because it was tabled last month, so I didn't know whether to come today or wait till some other time. But since I'm here, I might as well make my point, and then I'll come back when you want to talk to me again.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Banks, you need to say anything?
Now, I'm gonna ask Scott, where are we on that issue right now?
This is a petition to zone the A1 to C2. Name is David Thind. This was brought to the board, Planning and Zoning Board, on March 14th. It was tabled for further discussion on talking to the neighbors. They have not submitted anything back at this time, so the earliest it would come back would be May 16th with the planning and zoning, if they give me any more information. But I
May the 16th?
If they bring me any more information, then it
Okay.
would be May 16th.
Well, that's where you probably need to be at that planning and zoning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
then.
ma'am.
Okay, Brandy.
All right, Greg?
All right, last name is Karetha McField, maybe? Kyretha?
She was with that group that
Okay.
just left.
That's all.
All right, let's move on down to consent items. Any items need to be removed on consent? If not, do I have a motion? Motion Supervisor Griffin, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion, all in favor? Aye, all opposed. Moving down to the supervisors, item, on there on item 44 with, Springbrook HOA. What they have is, this is a public roads out there in that area. It's not necessarily a subdivision because everybody, I think, owns 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 8 acres. And they have some decorative signs that they ordered and put up several years ago. And 3 or 4 of those road signs are missing and needs to be replaced, along with a couple of 3 poles that holds those signs on. They have ordered new signs, and they wanted to give those signs to the county. In return, the county would go out and install those signs. And so, with that being said, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the donation of those signs and poles to go on the public road that's out there.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the next is
Mine's already
Paul.
took care of.
Paul's already taken care of. Business items, Mr. Wilson Hood.
Good morning. My name is Wilson Hood, and I'm here on behalf of the James W. Hood Family Foundation. We're requesting a property tax exemption for 443 North Park Drive in Richland. We were asked by the leadership of Pure Orchard Presbyterian Church and their Christ Covenant School to acquire some adjacent property to their campus to buy and hold for them until they could fundraise to grab it. They're dealing with some space constraints on their campus, and unfortunately, there's some commercial property around their campus that can be bought and renovated to address some of their needs. They're just not in a financial position to do it, so they asked our foundation to step in and grab the property when it came in the market so that they could have access to it. And so we did this with a property 2 years ago, directly adjacent to that, 441, and the board was kind enough to give us that property tax exemption. So I was here 2 weeks ago and was made aware of an outstanding tax bill on the property that I honestly didn't know existed, but we got it paid last week, and so I'm under the impression that we're okay. And so just coming back to answer any questions you might have and just to see if there's anything else I needed to do to do that.
Okay, so you have taken care of the tax issue.
Yeah, I walked out of this meeting 2 weeks ago and did it. So
You have a receipt?
I don't know if I have a receipt, but I assume it was maybe.
You do have it? Okay.
Okay.
With that being said, I'll make a motion for approval with the understanding that the taxes has been taken care of and
Second.
paid up to date. Got a second, Supervisor Griffin, discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, next is CJ, tax collector.
Morning, Board.
Good morning.
Good to see you. This morning, I've got an agreement to provide legal counsel to my office. It's standard operating procedure. The funds are earmarked in my budget, so I'd appreciate approval.
Move.
Second.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? Powell, second.
Yeah.
Second for Supervisor Griffin. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, CJ.
Right.
Ms. Jones, EMA Director.
Good morning, Board. Good morning.
Morning.
Just a quick update on last week's storm. On behalf of the Sheriff Department, the Road Department, my office, and all the volunteers, you know, we always do an excellent job of trying to clear the roadway, working together. So I just want to thank everybody for that. But a total of what we had, and still counting, but as of today, we have 17 residential assessment that we did, 1 apartment, 1 business, and we had 1 dam that's in not in Lost Rabbit, that's in Panther Creek, that we had to go check on. And just the way we determined them affected, destroyed, or damaged, we had 9 that was affected, 3 that was major, 3 that was minor, and 3 that was destroyed. So I've spoken with the city of Canton, the city of Madison, Gluckstadt, as well as Ridley. So I'm still getting information in as of today.
Okay.
And also for line item 49, I was asked, could the board president sign for our DR3 and DR4? So at some point, we're going to have it, and I just want to make sure it's turned in at the proper time.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Albert.
Hold on, Albert, I got a question for you. With all these pine trees dying and these storms hitting, do we have any processes in place to stop illegal dumping like that on I-55?
I know we addressed that issue as far as coming in with the burning, but I haven't had a chance to look into that situation over there. But I will, and I'll get an answer back
Well, I
to
mean,
you.
just going forward, do we have anything we need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again?
The citizens have to report it for what that.
And once it was reported, we stopped the burning.
Oh, they were burning over there too?
Yeah, it was burning, and then so Nissan as well as residents was calling concerned about it. So we had a chance to rectify that problem.
Right.
But now I'll look into the dumping on there to see what we need to do to keep in place to where they won't come in and do any dumping.
And I'd like to take this opportunity to say to anybody watching, anybody concerned, if someone comes onto your property, cut down trees, they are responsible for removing the tree. Correct. The county is not responsible. We've had some issues recently with some contractors coming in, leaving multiple trees on the side of the road and the right of way, causing traffic hazards and whatnot, and telling the homeowner that the county will be by to pick up this debris. That is not the case. Unfortunately, we've had to get Sheriff Tucker involved in a few of these and have the contractor come out and get that removed. Contractors are responsible for removing debris from your property when they cut down the trees. Limb pickup is if you cut down some limbs off your property, pick up branches, whatnot, leave it on the side of the road. We have a contract to pick that up. The county is not picking up your trees.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Supervisor Brandon. Anything else for Albert? If not, thank you, Albert.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Drew.
Morning, Board.
Good morning.
Morning.
Buildings and Grounds has one item. On April 9th, we held bids for the boardroom renovation. We received 3. The lowest was J.E. Stevens. I'm recommending that we award that bid and enter into the contract with them.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Well, I got some discussion. I'll wait for a second.
Okay, I'll make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second for discussion.
Second for
What-
Supervisor
what-
Griffin for discussion.
What are
Supervisor
we-
Baxter.
What are we getting for 360,000? It seems like an awful lot of money for this boardroom. I'm happy with the boardroom the way it is, but I would like to know what it is that's included.
Yes, sir. The majority of this project was driven by IT, a tech need to put screens, to be able to do presentations, pull up maps, anything like that if there was a dispute. When we started to look into the cost of retrofitting the board to put in these screens and all the tech that was needed, we were going to have to remove most of the finishes. When that cost was weighed, they thought it would be we moved to do all new finishes, kind of do this all at once so it wouldn't be piecemeal together. That was just the cost that came. Again, most of this is IT-driven AV, but once we start ripping out and moving panels or moving around, redoing grids in the ceiling, it made more sense economically to update everything at once. I believe these finishes are original to the building, so they're about 15, 17 years old.
It's like many of our buildings, as we're doing now, is we're having to update.
Yes, sir.
You know, and this one's no different than the courthouse that we're actually doing now.
Yes, sir.
So I would prefer to use the money on roads and paving. When people are struggling, it's hard to justify 360,000 on audio video equipment, but.
Other discussion?
Tim, do we have any turn lanes or widenings or anything that could be used that cost around or less than $360,000 right now that are just sitting out there waiting on funding? Or that might be a better question for Greg.
I am relatively certain that there are enough road projects in this county that we could spend every dollar this county has and folks would still not be satisfied.
I know,
It
but
may
I'm just
not
saying, is there anything
all
out
of
there
the
that-
traffic issues?
Is there anything that we need? I know we've got something coming up later on the agenda about financing for some road widenings and some turn lanes. Is $360,000 for
I have some,
aesthetics
I have some
versus-
roads I can name off now if you want a second.
I personally would just rather, I've been in this boardroom for a year. I've been sitting behind this desk for 3 months, and I don't see where we could put $250,000 into this room and it make everybody's life better, where a turn lane somewhere or a resurfacing for $360,000 would make a lot of people's life better every single day, and not just how much is this room used a month? 12 hours?
Well, they probably use more than that, but this is something that we've asked them to do, actually, and they've been working on this now for almost a year. I mean, you know, and I understand what you're saying, because you wasn't on the board, you know, at that point.
Yes.
When we move forward, but, I mean, this is something that's been going on now for at least 1 year.
Yes, sir, and it was
Come back.
bid November, I think it was November 20th. Bids came in a little too expensive, and it
Right.
would have been rebid before now, but I pulled the interior decorator to help with Fred's, simply because I don't need to be picking out furniture for a whole building. That is a recipe for ugly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make that building ugly.
And-
So
and-
it would have gone out again before now. That's just a manpower issue.
And we have some other updates that's coming as well. As I mentioned, the courthouse. I mean, it's coming, in which I think you're gonna give an update on that. But anyway, we have a motion on the floor and second. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
Okay. 3-2. Moving forward with it. Next, on the item is Tim. And guys, when we give the okay to move these things forward, and again, Supervisor Brandon, you wasn't on here. Supervisor Baxter, you were. Guys, if you have an objection at that point, please speak out at that point, because these things do cost money, and it does need to be updated. But we don't want to go through all this process and then look at it and say, and then ask questions. We want to ask questions up front.
Like we
Tim?
did on Bozeman Road.
Do what
8
now?
years on Bozeman Road, and you started asking questions.
Yeah, you have to ask questions.
You just said don't ask questions.
No, I said you have to ask questions. Tim?
All right, guys.
Go forward.
First item I have is the CE&I contract for the Yandell Road replacement project. This is the two bridges that we're going to replace on Yandell Road, right there near Mosley Meadows.
Right.
Cost of this would be $65,265.40. That project will begin May 25th, technically, but it will probably begin May 28th, which is the Tuesday following school letting out on that Friday.
And they say they're gonna have it ready through by
They say
school
it's a
time.
70-day contract, and they said they're gonna have it ready in 70 days, so
All right.
Can we cut 10 off?
I would love to. They hope to.
Do I have a motion Supervisor Griffin, do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor? Aye, all opposed. Item 52.
Next item I have is the letter of credit for the off-site improvements for the Woodgate Boulevard intersection where it will intersect Yandell Road. This is at the current intersection of where Deerfield Club Drive. This is where the new Woodgate neighborhood will intersect with Yandell.
Motion.
Got a motion Supervisor Griffin, do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion.
I spoke with Greg a little bit about this on Friday. This is the new subdivision over by Woodgate. Where that new subdivision is going in, that a lot of people visited this room and said they didn't want the subdivision. That was before my time. That's, I don't believe that is anything we can do anything about. This looks to me like we did a traffic study, right? And the traffic study said, do these things to the road in front of here, and this will alleviate a lot of the traffic.
It will take care of the traffic associated with the new development.
With the new development.
Yes, sir.
And it is my understanding that this acceptance of letter of credit is basically saying that we will put in half and the developer will put in half. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So we're doing something that's very much needed, even without the subdivision there, to help alleviate traffic, and we're getting it for half price.
We're paying half of what is needed for the development, and we're paying all of a turn lane going into Deerfield.
Okay, yes.
How much is the turn lane?
Estimated to be $75,000.
All right, so we're getting improvements. We're going to make everybody's life better and handle this traffic from this new subdivision.
Correct.
And
And
we're
they're
getting-
putting in $202,500.
All right.
And that was pretty much the understanding up front as well.
That's
You know,
my
with the-
understanding.
With
That
the
was-
subdivision as well.
So they're going in, and paying a substantial amount of money to help the traffic that they're going to cause.
Yes.
Good.
Got a motion on the table, got a second, other discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Item 53.
This is a request for the board to allow Hemp Hill Construction to subcontract work on Reunion 2 to the following subcontractors: A1 Sealing, Dickerson and Bowen, Simmons Erosion Control for both roadway items and bridge items, Lane Line LLC, Atwood Fence Company, and Lewis Electric.
Move.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks, do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Baxter, discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Item 54.
Last item I have is Expedition Point Phase 1. This is an amended plat for this subdivision. It actually reduces the number of lots and moves some lot lines around. Originally, it was approved, and they're requesting to reapprove it now.
Do I have a motion?
Move.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks, do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Baxter, discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Tim, before you sit down, I know Supervisor Brandon mentioned it just a second ago, and I was going to have you to kind of bring up as far as picking up limbs, trees, logs that the homeowner may cut or may not cut or have someone else to cut. If you would, just state our policy.
All right. Please correct me if I'm wrong here, but if a contractor cuts a tree down or limbs or anything on your property, it is the contractor's responsibility to remove those when the contractor leaves. If a homeowner prunes a tree or cuts a tree on their property, they do it themselves, the county will remove those items. But if you have a contractor cut a tree, you are to pay that contractor to also remove the items, whatever that may be.
Okay. Supervisor Brandon, I appreciate you bringing that up, and that's pretty much what you said as well.
Yeah.
But that is our policy, and you heard it from our engineer. Any other discussion or questions for Tim?
And also, Greg made a good point. If it is something that is put on the street by a homeowner, it needs to be in sections no longer than 4 to 5 feet so that we can pick it up.
For the county to be able to pick it up.
So our trucks can pick it up.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that update. Mr. Weeks?
Just have one item. Twin Cedars Phase 2A plat amendment, Lot 27 and 28, and to add a portion of Lot 28 to Lot 27 to meet the setback requirements.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Got a motion, Supervisor Baxter. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
Mike? Board Attorney.
Sir, this is a cooperative agreement between the county and Canton, similar to what we did for Ridgeland, Madison, and Gluckstadt. So it's a cooperation agreement for 5 roads within the city of Canton. The total reimbursement will be $241,397, and the language is the same as all the other agreements.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
I didn't read all this lawyer writing here. Do it say that the county plan on doing this work in-house? Is that what that language telling me?
It says that out of the road plan monies, we're going to designate reimbursement for these roads. Not that we would do the work.
Yeah. Well,
We reimburse Canton for doing the work.
we need to change that then, because we're looking to take our crews in there to do the work on the city street. Whatever that needs changing.
Well, that's a big change. So it's not like all the others where they'll do the work, we're reimbursed.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll make the change.
And you can make a change by next meeting. We ain't in no rush.
So we're not reimbursing anything. We're just doing work.
There you go.
We'll see.
Yeah, table it to. next
Motion to table Supervisor Griffin. Do I have a second? Second Supervisor Banks.
All right.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
right.
We'll have that back at the next board meeting.
We'll do it at Mr. Banks. The maintenance easement was sent
Okay,
on March 19th.
March 19th.
So if it didn't get transmitted, I'll do it when I get back to work.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Greg?
Because I'm doing a search, and I haven't picked it up.
Morning, Board.
Morning.
I have 2 things for you today. Item 57 is a quote from Know Before Cybersecurity Awareness Training. At this point, I believe it's abundantly clear why I'm presenting this to you all, so I'm asking for your approval on this particular quote.
Okay, do I have a motion? I'll make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Griffin. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
All right. Item 58 is the circuit courthouse update. I was asked to update this board on some of the progress and some of the steps we have taken as we look to redesign, expand, and just overall renovate the circuit courthouse. Over the last month, we have met with architects, judges, DAs, the circuit clerk. Most of the stakeholders have been involved at this point. The architect believes that we will more likely than not be able to get this out to bid by the end of the year. assuming that some of the other elected officials continue to play ball, which I have no reason to doubt that they will.
So how much, what's the cost estimate on this rehab and expansion?
Whole thing's looking to be about $22 million.
And that's 22 million that won't go into roads.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guys, again, as I mentioned, this is something that we have asked, our administrator to head up and to do, and the judges have come and asked as well. And this board decided to move forward at this point. So if you have questions and.
I'm asking questions.
Now's the time to do it. You're right.
What a new one.
A new complex was going to be between $60 and $70 million.
60 and 70?
Correct.
How much space we got left in the Fred's building that's going unused?
About 4,800 square feet.
And how many jury or court rooms are at that current circuit building?
We have 3 currently.
And how many jury trials are there a year over there?
I do not know that answer for sure yet. I have asked Judge Ratcliffe, and while he did not have the exact number of jury trials, he did mention there were about 1,700 resolutions over there that could be guilty, not guilty, pled guilty, charges dropped, whatever it was. That according to him, they run about 1,700 people through that circuit courthouse. And that's just on the circuit side. That does not include county and youth, but county and youth will be moving across the street anyway.
And this will be broken down as far as separation of the DA's office and the remodeling of the courthouse as well, once you bring that to us.
Yes.
It'll be broken down and separated out to where this board can see the difference in the cost.
Correct.
Yes.
We will have it all split out by more or less department. As it sits currently, the project is slated to include an additional space for the DA. That'll be new space. And
In the courthouse?
Correct. Well, yes, but kind of off to the side. It will be an expansion as you're looking at the courthouse off to the right-hand side.
I would like to see
Go ahead.
on how much money we'll be saving if we put the DA over at Fred like we were planned on and they refuse to go. If we don't do that space in the courthouse, put them over there in the Fred's building, how much dollars are you talking about saving?
I'll second that if that's a motion.
I don't think we need a
It ain't a
motion
motion,
as much as that will be presented once the design is presented to us. And I think, Greg, we'll have the option to approve or disapprove all of it or part of it. And that's one option that will be there to either do or not do.
Correct. Within 60 days, we should be coming back to this board with the design more or less finalized. My goal is to have signatures on plans from the elected officials before I present it to you all. And then once I have those signatures on the plans and present it to you all, you will have the opportunity to move forward to schematics. And that could be all of it, part of it, none of it. That will be a board decision at that point.
But the DA building will be separated as far as the cost, and where the board can see, hey, this is, if we go along with this and decide to build, this is what it'll cost. If we don't, this is what we can actually save.
Correct.
Other thoughts on this? Thank you, Greg.
All right, thank you.
The son.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Item number 59 is for the budget amendments and interfund cash transfers.
I make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Item 60 and 61 is the approval of the claims docket and one payroll docket.
Do I have a motion? Motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Griffin, discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Number 62 is approval for the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Do I have a motion?
Move.
Motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Supervisor Banks, would you take item 63?
Oh, yeah. Item 63, approval of Fleet Court docket, April 11th, 2023.
2024, it's just a typo on that, 2024.
Oh, okay, 2024.
Yeah, it's right on my paper.
Yeah, okay. Paul made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Pay for the gas. All right,
All right, thank you.
Nothing, Mr. Vice President.
okay. Hey,
Sure.
Sheriff Tucker?
One item, just need to ask for a motion to acknowledge the inmate billing for the MDOC for the month of February 2024 in the amount of $4,789.76.
move.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Griffin, discussion, all in favor? Aye, all opposed?
And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sheriff. Old business? New business? I do not believe we have executive session that we know of.
Adjourn then until May the 6th.
Yeah, I think that we was gonna have one at the next board meeting, because there hadn't been a change at this
Okay,
point.
no change.
Yeah, so I think Sheriff Tucker is gonna be prepared at the next board meeting to bring us update on that. I do have a motion.
My motion was to adjourn until May the 6th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
9 a.m. Got a motion, Supervisor Banks, second, Supervisor Baxter, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Let's all go home. Mike.
Trying to think of what that was too. By the time I thought about it, it was too late. He said it was on the daggum iPad. Yeah, I was going in there, but